Hey, what's up guys, it's TechZoomer, talking to you here. And in today's video, I want to talk about the iPhone 15 lineup and the changes that Apple has probably been thinking for a while. Since Apple has released the iPhone 14 lineup, things haven't as going as they were thinking. The iPhone 14 and 14 Plus have been selling terribly, while the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max are selling like hotcakes. So, what's happening to the iPhone lineup and what will Apple do when they launch the iPhone 15 lineup? Will they cancel the iPhone 15 and just release the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max or the iPhone Ultra? Or will they change the lineup in general, trying to adapt it yet again? Well, I think that in my opinion, this is a very interesting topic to talk about. And so I want to thank today's sponsor, Games Go. This is a very interesting service because it can enable you to get Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, all of those services for cheaper. This is really simple to use. You just go into their website, click on the subscription that you want, see all the benefits that you have. For example, 4K footage, HDR. It's only for one account though, but don't worry, it's just more than enough. So if you want to give them a try, use code SUMER, the same code displayed on your screen right now, and you will get a discount for 5% for Netflix and 2% for all of the other subscriptions. Go through my link so you can support my channel. The link is on the description. Thanks, Games Go, by sponsoring this video. So, no further ado, and before we get started, do not forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, roll the intro. So, the iPhone 15 Plus, a very hot topic right now. As I was telling you, the iPhone 14 Plus has been selling terribly. And this is bad news for Apple, because last year they released the iPhone 13 mini, and the year before that the iPhone 12 mini. Those two phones didn't sell that well, and so Apple decided to change their strategy and cancel the iPhone mini totally. 2 years of having a mini iPhone, that was great, but Apple wasn't seeing good sales, and they killed it. Keep in mind that the iPhone mini was one of the top 10 best-selling phones in the world in that year. So Apple is pretty strict with their iPhone sales. Well, what happened was Apple killed the iPhone 13 mini and decided to release the iPhone 14 Plus, thinking that they will increase their sales, because a bigger sized iPhone, cheaper than the iPhone Pro model, then that would be a bestseller formula. Well, I think Apple was wrong. They released a very expensive iPhone with less capabilities. So people were thinking, wait, $899, so $900 for the iPhone 14 Plus. If I can get the iPhone 14 Pro, which has better materials, better camera, better display, every single feature associated with the Pro lineup, and even better, the Pro name, people were thinking only $100 for that. Well, I get the iPhone 14 Pro or even the Pro Max. I just want to get your best iPhone. Give me your best iPhone. But people that really want cheap iPhones, they get the iPhone 13, the iPhone 12 that Apple has been selling. So it's very difficult to analyze this situation from Apple's side. Apple wants to sell more phones. What can they do to improve the iPhone 14 Plus? Well, they have two options. They lower the price and then cannibalize the sales of the Pro models, or they leave it the same. The iPhone 15 Plus will be terrible seller, like a very bad phone, and Apple will continue this cycle of not having enough Pro phones. What can Apple do? Well, I think in my opinion, they should cancel the iPhone 15 Plus and just have the iPhone 15, 15 Pro, and 15 Ultra. Yeah, 3 sizes, 3 different devices. The iPhone 15 being the base model iPhone costing around $700, not more than that. Then they can have the iPhone 15 Pro at $1,000, a 6.1-inch device. And then they should release the iPhone 15 Ultra, a 6.7-inch Pro Max model rebranded to an Ultra iPhone. This would create 3 different separate categories at the iPhone lineup. It will create more differentiation between the iPhone models. So it's not only about size, but also about features. You have the more expensive iPhone, you have the middle ground Pro model, and then you have the lower end iPhone 15. And this is correct with the leaks and rumors about Apple canceling the iPhone SE, because they aren't seeing that good of a sales. So if Apple does want to kill that lower end cheap iPhone and make the iPhone 15 the cheapest iPhone new available, that would be a good strategy, because people were thinking, okay, if I want the cheapest iPhone, I can get the iPhone 15 with the new design, new features, dynamic island, everything. Then All of that are on the iPhone 15 Pro. You will have stainless steel, better materials, a better display, 120 Hz, and all of that. But then, if you want the best experience of an iPhone ever, the best battery life, the best camera, the best everything, then it would have the Ultra option. This is very important. Apple needs to simplify and, in my opinion, reduce the size of their iPhone lineup. 4 models until now hasn't proven to be a good strategy for the iPhone lineup. Since the release of the iPhone mini, that Apple has had 4 models on their lineup, and since then they have seen that the 4th model always gets bad sales. The iPhone mini was selling way better than the iPhone 14 Plus is selling right now, but still, it's a way better strategy for Apple to simply kill the iPhone 15 Plus, cancel that phone, and release a more important Ultra iPhone by simplifying the lineup. 3 models, that's okay. You have a 15, you have a 15 Pro, and you have a 15 Ultra. So, what can Apple do after reducing the lineup to 3 models? What can they do to sell the 4th magic number, iPhone? Well, I think they need to create the iPhone mini again, but with a different sauce. This time, they need to make the iPhone mini the iPhone SE. So, this is just my opinion, but I think if Apple makes the iPhone 13 mini the iPhone SE for around $400, really cheap, with good specs, with the bigger display, that phone would sell like hotcakes. And it won't cannibalize the other iPhone models, the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Pro, and the iPhone 15 Ultra. Why? Because they are very different. Think for me. For example, the iPhone mini is a very, very small size iPhone. It doesn't compete with the bigger displays. You have seen this on the past. On the latest iPhone 12 lineup and 13 lineup, the iPhone mini did not cannibalize any types of sales from the normal iPhone 13 and iPhone 12. And that's very important because the 2 different sizes just completely differentiate themselves into 2 different markets. People that want a big iPhone, or at least a normal sized iPhone, they will look for other iPhones, the iPhone 15, 15 Pro, and 15 Ultra. But people that specifically want a small iPhone, they will look for the iPhone mini. And if that iPhone costs $400, people would say, wait, it's an older iPhone, has an older design, has still the notch, it still has a lower powerful processor, but it only costs $400 and it's mini sized, just like I wanted. And they will buy it, and no iPhone sales from the bigger size models will be robbed. So Apple won't lose any type of money by releasing a mini-sized iPhone as the iPhone SE. Yes, they should cancel the iPhone SE4 with the 10R design, as it been rumored, and completely kill that off that model. It doesn't make any sense to release another 6.inch iPhone. But keep the same 2 6.inch iPhones, the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro on the lineup, release a bigger sized iPhone Ultra, the iPhone 6.7-inch Pro Max, that is called right now, and release an iPhone mini the year after that, calling it the iPhone SE Mini, and you have at $400, $450 a mini-sized iPhone that you can sell to mini-sized customers that just want a cheap iPhone. That won't cannibalize any of the sales of the new iPhones. But it could cannibalize the sales of the older iPhones. Although I think that Apple in the future will kill the iPhone 12, iPhone 13, and probably the only surviving phones from the lineup will be the iPhone 14. I don't think Apple will keep selling the iPhone 14 Plus for much longer. I think that was a complete dud from Apple. I think they will kill that phone in very short amount of time. But of course, the iPhone 15 lineup will change, and that's almost for sure. Apple is still on time to kill the iPhone Plus. Apple is still on time to release an iPhone 15 mini. We are not sure what will happen because Apple is still very unpredictable. If you think about it, every year Apple changes stuff that we don't know. And of course, we will probably know if Apple kills one of the models of the iPhone 15 lineup pretty soon. But it's very important to understand that if Apple does that, then I think that another fundamental change to the iPhone lineup is coming. Of course, the iPhone 15 lineup will be filled with some new changes. For example, a new design. Of course, a new display. Of course, a new camera. And the better part, a new model, the ultra-sized model. This device will be insane, and I cannot wait to see the iPhone 15 Ultra. Titanium, a new redesign to the chassis, and so much more. I'm so excited for the iPhone 15 lineup. September, the second week, the second Tuesday of September, when the iPhone 15 lineup will come out. Of course, I'm really, really excited also for this episode of Apple killing the iPhone 14 Plus and just not releasing the iPhone 15 Plus. I mean, I've hated that phone since the release. I think, in my opinion, it doesn't make any sense to have the iPhone 14 Plus so close to the iPhone 14 Pro. But if you think about it, right now is working at the side of Apple because they are selling so many Pro phones that this ladder effect that Apple is having, it's incentivizing yourself to buy a more expensive iPhone. The only problem though is that you cannot keep up with the sales of the Pro phones, and then all of those sales that you probably would have goes down the drain because people are saying, oh, this iPhone is late by 3 months. Forget about it. I'm not going to buy it right now. I just wait for the iPhone 15. So I think that Apple needs to be very delicate the way they treat the iPhone 15 lineup. But if it's the year to clean the iPhone lineup, to remove models that don't sell well, is this year. Because now, this year, the iPhone 15 is a complete redesign year, where Apple changes the complete design of the iPhone. It's a design year. So it's a big year for the iPhone in terms of changes. And if they want to kill an iPhone model, it's the time to do it right now. They introduced for the first time the fourth model with the iPhone 12, the first design generation of the squared off iPhone. Now, with the first generation of the curved back, squared off edges iPhone, it's time to kill the weakest link on the iPhone lineup. But what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below. And while you're there, do not forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to my channel, and of course, follow my social networks, Twitter and Instagram. This has been Tech Smart talking to you here. Bye.